Hello students, today we are going to continue the same lesson we had read last time, that is the ashes that made the trees bloom, for class 7th English. So you remember that there was a couple which was very kind and the other one was very wicked. So let's start with the second part of the lesson. Long far, the good old man dreamed again, and the spirit of the dog spoke to him, telling him how the wicked people had burned the mill made from the pine tree. Take the ashes of the mill, sprinkle them on the withered trees, and they will bloom again, said the dog spirit. So, the spirit of the dog persuaded them to collect the ashes of the mill and sprinkle them on the withered leaves. The old man awoke and went at once to his wicked neighbor's house, where miserable old pair sitting at the edge of their square fireplace in the middle of the floor, smoking and spinning. From time to time they warmed their hands and feet with blaze from village, set out to see him taking his basket of ashes. As the train approached, he climbed up into an old withered cherry tree that stood by the wayside. Now, in the days of the daimyos, it was the custom, when their lord passed by, for all the loyal people to shut up their high windows. They even pasted them fast with a slip of paper, so that not to commit the impertinence of looking down on his lordship. So you understand that whenever the procession used to go, that is the lords used to go from there, the public was not allowed to peep from their windows also. All the people along the road would fall upon their hands and knees and remain prostrate until the procession passed by. Procession is the train or the group of people going in a line, and prostrate means lying on the ground face downwards. So students, you have understood these two meanings. The train drew near. One tall, competent man marched ahead, crying out to the people by the way, "Get down on your knees, get down on your knees." And everyone kneeled down while the procession was passing. This was just to show the obeisance or the respect to the Lord who was going from the path. Suddenly, the leader of the van caught sight of the aged man up in the tree. He was about to call out to him in an angry tone, but seeing he was an old fellow, he pretended not to notice him and passed him by. So when the daimyo's palanquin drew near, the old man, taking a pinch of ashes from his basket, scattered it over the tree. So you understand what is a palanquin, children? Palanquin is a royal van or a carriage in which the daimyos was sitting and he was lifted by the people. So let's come to the next paragraph. Some bits of the mill, while behind them lay a pile of broken pieces. The good old man humbly asked for the ashes, though the covetous couple turned up their noses to him and scolded him as if he were a thief. They let him fill his basket with the ashes. On coming home, the old man took his wife into the garden. It being a winter, their favorite cherry tree was bare. He sprinkled a pinch of ashes on it, and it sprouted blossoms until it became a cloud of pink blossoms which perfumed in the air. The news of this filled the village, and Everyone ran out to see the wonder. Wonder means what a great act it was, what a surprising thing it was that there was pink blossom on the tree. Blossom, you understand, students? Blossom is when the tree is giving beautiful flowers, that is blossom. So the flowers are blooming. Okay? The kind old man, hearing that his lord Demio was to pass along the high road near the village, set out to see him taking his basket of ashes. As the train approached, he climbed up into an old withered cherry tree that stood by the wayside. Now, in the days of the Demios, it was the custom when the Lord passed by for all the loyal people to shut up their high windows. They even pasted them fast with a slip of paper. As we again revising this paragraph, that you know what happened, that they used to pay obeisance, to pay respect to their lords. So this is how they used to bow in front of them. Now let's come to the next paragraph. But when the greedy neighbor heard of it, he took some of the magic ashes and went out on the highway. There he waited until a Demios train came along, and instead of kneeling down like the crowd, he climbed with the cherry tree. When the Demio himself was almost directly under him, he threw a handful of ashes over the tree, which did not change a particle. So, when the wicked man did the same thing, but it never changed at all, and even the Demios also tried. Then also there was no change. So the wind blew the fine dust in the noses and eyes of the Demio and his wife, and they got angry. Such sneezing and choking, it spoiled all the pomp and dignity of the procession. So they were sneezing and they were coughing and choking. So it was a very awkward scene, and it just spoilt all the pomp and the show, the dignity of the procession which was going on. Then the man whose business it was to cry, "Get down on your knees," seized the old fool by the collar. So this man was pulled by the collar, and he was dragged, dragged him from the tree, and tumbled him and his ash basket into the ditch by the road. Then, beating him soundly, he left him for dead. So he was beaten a lot, and he was left for dying. Thus the wicked old man died in the mud, but the kind friend of the dog dwelt in peace and plenty. Plenty means he has a peaceful life, and he had a peaceful life, and he had plenty of treasure, and he had plenty of things to live his life luxuriously and lavishly. And both he and his wife lived to a green old age. So they lived to a green old age. That is, it was a beautiful life ever after. They lived a beautiful life ever after. So students, read the lesson and revise it again and again. And I have provided you with the summary of the lesson also. You can go through the summary also at the end. That the story explains that people are known by the deeds they perform. Just like a tree which is known by its fruits and leaves, it shows that if people are kind to other people and animals, they tend to be happy. If they are greedy and cruel, they will be unhappy and sad. The story also hints of magical realism. So magic is being shown, and with themes of kindness, fantasy, society, etc. Thank you, and students, have a nice day ahead.